We're here with fifth-year head coach Jarrett Moser, Storm Baseball. Welcome, Jarrett.
Welcome, Sam.
Talk to me a little bit about being in your fifth year and how you've sort of adapted from a philosophy standpoint from your early career here to this fifth year in.
Well, I think now one of the biggest changes is that I have a lot more help, and I think that has relieved me of a lot. But I think early on in my career, I was thrown into the fire, and I used to say that I didn't wish that upon anybody. But I think now that I'm through it a little bit and I have a little bit more help and kind of found myself in this role, I'm really glad that it happened that way, because I learned a lot of things really early that I probably would not have learned if I wasn't thrown into the fire. And I think the biggest theme for me this year is just having a little bit more patience and understanding that this is a marathon and that it's not a sprint, and understanding just exactly what we need to win when it matters, and that it's not necessarily about right here, right now, all the time, and that there's a lot of things that go into being good when it matters. And sometimes that's putting a guy in a position early that you might not put him in otherwise. And that is something that for me as a younger coach, I didn't really think like that much.
Having the help you do, and having learned those lessons along the way, it feels like it's kind of a natural transition for you to kind of help your younger assistants and the guys that are involved in that program start to learn some of that messaging a little bit earlier than maybe you did. Talk to me about your assistant coaches and the impact that they're having with this group of guys.
Yeah, well, I would say we have 3 assistant coaches for this year. We have Coach Bennett, Easton Bennett, who is a substitute teacher, coached at Silverton High School. And we got Jeremy Werner, who was successful in his own world, ran his own business, actually recently sold it. And then we got Ethan Krupp, who is a youngster fresh out of college. And I would say Krupp has kind of been my sidekick through it all. He has the ability to be here quite a bit, and has just been a sponge in terms of soaking up all the stuff, because he has aspirations of being a head coach one day, and I think has gotten quite a bit of a head start just from being around a ton. But he does the pitching and has really grown into that role in terms of not just being science of pitching guy, but being more of the broader coach that thinks about not just the science of pitching. And then Coach Werner, his background is in kind of smaller school, high school baseball in the state of Oregon. And over the course, he's going into, this is, I think, his 4th year in total, kind of 3.5, because he came at winter break in his first year. But he's grown a ton in the process of being a college coach, and really has absolutely crushed the recruiting, and has really blossomed into being our recruiting coordinator. And we're in a really cool position this year compared to where we've been at years past with the recruiting side of things. I think part of that is to do with some of these field changes that we'll talk about. But we have more guys signed now than we had in my 4 years prior to this one combined. And so more guys are making the decision that they want to be here.
Well, and that's a good segue, obviously, to the field transition. Major project going on out there. That's got to change from a recruiting standpoint. It's got to change from a day-to-day look for you. I know it's probably hard to see all the change that can happen, but at the front side of this, what's this look like for you?
Well, one, no field work. And that, I spent a lot of time out on that field doing stuff, and I think that's one of the selfish things that I'm really excited about. But from a bigger, broader program perspective, being able to practice all the time, having the lights that allows us to move game times and be very flexible and fluid to play when we need to play and stay on schedule. And then from a recruiting perspective, I think the point that I made has made it pretty clear how much that has made an impact. And then we're also really excited about the track band. And I think that's one thing that definitely makes this place unique and will also help with the recruiting side of things, where being one of 3 schools in the NWAC that has a track band is something that we are really proud of and really excited to really get to work on.
Awesome. Well, we're super excited to see what you've been doing with this Storm baseball program over the years, and we can't wait to watch you continue to build it and watch you dominate this year.
Appreciate it, Coach.